Here we are back at it again with another Ethereum market update. Today is, I believe, still the 7th. So this is a same day recording because I think yesterday I recorded after, like right at the beginning of this day. So we started off a little bit positive, and just in the past 4 hours we saw a 4% dip, right when we hit the top here. Um, So yeah, that's why I took profits in the previous video, even though I believe we were here, and yeah, look at this crazy. Um, this is the hourly frame. I'll look more at the 4 hour frame. So I believe we were here, and I saw that my position was missed just by a smidge right here at 47.40, and I took out at basically 49.90, and I was like, hey, I'm taking out, like, even though it's not as good as it could be, it's very likely that we're going to go back down, right? We're about to reject this whole thing. I mean, I didn't know exactly where we were going to go. Well, what I've said is that we're going to probably go back to retest this the 4 hour EMA. So that's actually where my next buy is. I bought a little bit here already since we have a lot of, a little bit of resistance, maybe possibly bounce from the top of here, right? We have some resistance here, so maybe we might not go all the way down. Um, but I still have a order placed here as well as an order for way back down here. So just for the scenario that we break back down and attempt to create a lower low or make things even scarier. That's what I'm doing here. Um, so so yeah. But what I really think is important to look at right now is Bitcoin. Just like yesterday, it's still the case. And I was saying this, before at the beginning of this week actually. Um, what we're looking for is for Bitcoin. The bearish target would be to test 18 the 1800 level exactly, because this is like a double bottom and this is where we broke out. Um, so if we retest that neckline, that would make sense. But then on this weekly frame, we really seem to not close above this 19k level, basically 19k. So what we're looking for, um, not 19k, but 119k. What we're looking for is to close above, even if this is a bearish candle, we want to look to close above all of these weekly closes here. This weekly close, this weekly close, this weekly close, because for all three of these weeks, we failed to close above, like basically to close at around 120k. So if we still close at 120k, I would say we're still bullish. If we close down here, then the following week we would be looking to trade back up here, because then that would signify, hey, we're trading in this range now, right? Kind of like here, we were trading here and we had our breakout and we came back down, we retested, but we came up and it's like, hey, we're trading in this range now. We're trading above this range, right? So now that we've broken up here in this little bit of space here, we want to prove that we're actually now trading in this higher range, um, as opposed to, nah, we're still in this range, um, which would be the bearish scenario. Um, so I think that's really what to look out for, uh, right? If you're trading Bitcoin, I would say, hey, see if you can maybe have a little bit of a buy at $119,500 would be a great place to buy, and then um, 1800 1,018,000 118,000 exactly would also be a great place to buy. Um, where basically the stop loss would be like if we come anywhere below that level, that's where you would want to be like, now we might actually go down to the, 108s, 109s, 110s, if you want to have a stop loss. I mean, I personally would not. I would just have my leverage low enough so that I could buy more, and that's the way I trade if you've been following the account. Um, I've been looking at this, which is the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart. Um, we'll see if my prediction plays out still, because we still have plenty of time in this month. But I'm expecting for this month that we end up with 10% on Bitcoin basically. If we're gonna kind of follow the symmetricality um, of here. But things aren't often symmetrical. But we will see. We will see. Regardless, the next leg up that we're looking for is going to be this one. The this leg here. And to be completely honest, I don't even know if we're actually going to go even above that. Once we get to these levels, once we get 50% on Bitcoin from where we're at right now, that's when I'm going to assume Ethereum's run is probably over. And at that point, I would hope that we are, kind of at our all-time highs. I mean, if we get 50% on Bitcoin, like that should put us. Let me see. Like if we were to get it right now, let me see where that put us. 50% on Bitcoin would give us almost 7K, is that? Almost 7K. So, and yeah, and I think that would make sense. Like that would kind of match up with where Bitcoin is in a way. Um, so yeah. Uh, I'm debating if I want to talk about like price predictions. Because okay, so basically what people are looking at and what people are thinking with Bitcoin is that we're going to get somewhere in the possible 150 range, which would be trying to calculate the percents here. So from the previous high, that would be 120%. Some people, yeah, but basically 150. So 120%. So about 100% from the top. So if Ethereum is going to follow a similar kind of narrative, especially catching up with Bitcoin, and which I think would make the most sense, if Ethereum follows a similar narrative as Bitcoin and we get 100% from the top, that would take us to, 9,500, right? If we get like 120, then we're looking at like maybe 100K. Yeah, like 10K with some change. So that's pretty much my targets. My target is really like I'm gonna pull out heavily, at 8.5 for like my regular holdings, as well as my longer swing trades and yeah. So just to reiterate what my like bullish targets are for like the cycle itself. And oh yeah, and this looking at the weekly frame is why I'm like we're like almost in a descending channel, you know, for Ethereum. So like I can totally see us coming all the way back down to the 38s, like look without a doubt, without a doubt. It just makes sense actually. So Yeah, I know I'm dragging this out a little bit. Uh, that's pretty much it for the Ethereum updates. In terms of trades, I guess I can show you exactly what it is. So what we did was we pulled out about 200 up here, right? 100 there, 100 there, pulled some out along the way, and now I've re-added here because there's a little bit of resistance. I have my buy order here, and I have a buy order here. Um, and I guess the only thing now is like now that I've added here, I would be okay. Where if we were to come back up, I would basically resell. But I just don't think it's likely. But you know, I'll just go ahead and 47.20 amount of ETH, point 0.4, sell short, confirm. Um, so, so yeah, that's all I have for today. Um, hope your guys' trades are going well. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you really enjoy it a lot, you know, feel free to subscribe and you can continue with these updates. And yeah, happy trading, everybody.